here we go. So we have David Kinchen, who is the COO of Energy Ogre. All right, so we all know we're all going to be kicking up the AC. We're going to want a lot of electricity to make up for the heat that's outside. So we're taking a look at the forecast here. I don't see that we're going to be having any outages this week. I think conservation notices we're low risk for that as well. What say you when taking a look at the numbers?
Yeah, I mean, these are very, very massive numbers. We're definitely going to be breaking records multiple times, but as we've had population growth and load growth, and we have this coming in, we're going to have a lot of generation that's shown up. We have a lot of wind and solar ready to go. So while we're definitely monitoring loads and we're looking at when wind shows up, that's really going to kind of be the determining factor for this. But right now it's a comfortable margin. Things are looking a little tight on Friday, and Monday being a holiday helps a little bit. So everything right now is very manageable.
So, I want to take a look specifically at Friday and Monday. So last year, the all-time record high is 80,000 megawatts. We're expected to hit that as early as Thursday. And then on Friday is when we're going to be above the previous record. Monday, even higher than that at 84,000 megawatts. So you're saying that it's going to be kind of a tight margin, which means that supply and demand can be a little closer than maybe we would like.
Right. So it's matching up those two things where you have generation and load. And some of the problem is, like, when you have wind, it can't blow the same all the time. Mm-hmm. So what you have is, as it comes down in the morning and then it goes back up in the afternoon, as the sun is setting, your solar starts to go away and your wind needs time to come back. So really, even if that gets tight, we're dealing with a matter of a couple of hours of a problem, and then in the evening time the wind comes back.
So we had, now former PUC Chairman Lake say that we were at risk, possibly of brownouts. He did say that wind and solar were the things that would probably save us. We do have from our meteorologist saying that we're going to have a lot of sunshine and it will be breezy. So those things are going to come into play.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. So do you see, though, this is going to set us up for the summer? I mean, this is just the start. We're not even in summer, and the summer report was estimating that our high would be 82,000 megawatts. We're already going to be above that if we do hit that 84 on Monday. So what does that tell us for the rest of the season?
Well, when you look at the record we set last time, last year we set the last record, and that was in June as well. So we get a general kind of heat wave come in, and it lasts from like 4 to 6 weeks a lot of times. So it could be that we have another round of heat wave in July or August, but it doesn't necessarily mean that. A lot of times this comes in and it does its thing, and then it'll settle down for a while. So
I think the record last year was July the 20th, so we're 5 weeks ahead of that. Do we need to be worried that this is not even really the hottest part of the season?
Well, I mean, certainly what helps us during this time of the year is, you're right, it's not the hottest part of the year, so these daytime temps are familiar, it's what everybody's looking at, but a lot of times it's the nighttime temperatures being lower kind of helps us kind of ease into the day. So it's certainly more potential in July and especially August, where you might be starting the day at 80, 81, 82 degrees versus like right now where it's a few degrees cooler. So August is definitely more of a concern in terms of historicals, but right now, just because we have a hot June doesn't necessarily mean you'll have a hot August, but August is usually the month we're worried about. So
you were good enough to come down here. What would you want our viewers at home to know when we start thinking, oh gosh, triple digits for several days for most of the state, and a lot of people look to the grid and they have concerns. So what do you want people to know at home?
Well, a couple of things. One, I don't think most people want to turn their AC up really, really high and then they're really, really warm, and then it's going to have to be running in the evening to recover. So something that I usually tell people to do is, if you want to do something or you are concerned about it, if you're not running your dryer or your electric dryer, your dishwasher, or you could turn off your pool pump, you might not really notice that for a couple hours in the middle of the day. That's something that can help, and maybe it doesn't bother you. The other thing I want people to remember is that as these temperatures are very high, your AC is going to be running a lot. Well, when you get your July bills, just kind of start to brace yourself, where if you use more energy and you're using a lot more in these temps, your bills are going to be much, much higher. You want to just start being aware that that's coming.
Okay, well, thank you so much. I appreciate you for coming on and sharing that info with us.